Facebook Live at VTRN Sports and Virginia Talk Radio Network, as well as VTRN Sports on YouTube. We're going to test that this season, so you'll get to see my not-so-gorgeous face, the much more attractive face of the coach, Rick Kennedy. And yes, JJ back in the studio, going to learn how to push all those buttons, so when the regular season opener is next week, we might have a better idea of what we're doing.
Well, hey, welcome to another season. I'm super excited. JF football got a good scrimmage right here going on with PH.
They do. A pitch play from Jackson to Coleman, turns the corner at the 50 on the far side, 40, and pushed out of bounds at the 31-yard line of Patrick Henry. If you're wondering, they started at 6 o'clock. We were just working through our technical setup to get going. Again, this is a scrimmage that we're broadcasting tonight. PH and JF both have a touchdown each. PH is off a JF turnover. Cavaliers respond with a touchdown of their own to tie it at 7, and we've got 2:40 left in the opening quarter of play. JF ball, they got it on a short PH punt just shy of midfield, and on that Xander Coleman run, they are down now, marked out at the 32. Over on the far side of the field are the JF Cavaliers. They'll open up their regular season next week at Gretna, as Jackson back in at quarterback with a lot of returning skill position and a handoff and a little pitter-patter off the inside run. And shuffling his way forward is Gabe Barnett, though there is a flag on the far side of the field.
Yeah, great job. So I tell you, so this year, 2026, the JF Cavaliers are going to pick up right where they left off offensively. They are returning almost all of their skill guys. They have number 9, Peyton Jackson, back at quarterback. They have the dynamic runner, number 7, Xander Coleman, who just ran that jet sweep. And now where the question is going to be is defensively. They lost 3 all-state defensive men last year, so that is where they're going to focus on to get this season started. And this opening tune-up against PH is a great place to start.
They're getting a real test out of a 5A team that was 11-0 in the regular, 10-0 in the regular season. Won their first playoff game and lost to eventual Class 5 state champion Highland Springs in the second round. And PH returning a lot of talent. The false start on JF. This is exactly what we're talking about. They lost to Hermitage, who would go on to lose to state champion Highland Springs. Hermitage beat PH in the second round last year. So JF and PH trading some procedural penalties, and this is why you have a scrimmage, Coach.
Yeah, this is typical early season jitters coming on. You know, you got the inexperienced guys, some of them now in a starting role where this is some of their first true varsity football, and they're going to make some mistakes, and we're seeing that even now early in this scrimmage, jumping off sides. That's been pretty common so far.
Jackson's got a 5-man front. They're 3 down linemen and 2 edges. He's throwing, swing pass, far side. Lee grabs it. Outside numbers at the 15, and he spins through a tackle down inside the 10, pushed out of bounds at the 9. It'll be 1st and goal for the Cavaliers, trying to get their first lead of the game. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. We're tied at 7.
Yeah, great job right there. Just a little 5-yard comeback. Got it out there just on time. Jack Lee able to make that catch and break a tackle, get a first down right at the 10-yard line. So now they're looking at 1st and goal, trying to get their second score of the night.
Interesting. It's 1st and goal from the 10 off the right hash mark for the Cavaliers on what is a sun-drenched Sabres Stadium home side, but the field is actually largely covered up by the trees that are over on the far sideline. Jackson snap, inside give. Harris has it, slips through a tackle at the 7 and slung forward down to about the 5 as he ran off the right side of the O-line, picked up 5. 2nd and goal coming up for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, Charleston Harris, great job right there. Big, solid, strong kid. And he didn't get a whole lot of action last year because of the depth, but he is going to be one of the main guys right there, offensively and defensively, the senior for the Cavaliers.
JF returning a lot of pieces on the offense. Pretty much all their skill position players. They return 3 of their 5 linemen. One of them is Logan Hamilton, who's dealing with a knee injury and missed the first month or so of the season for him. Snap, this time it's a handoff to Jones. Ball popped loose. Jackson had it, lost it. Did JF fall back on it at the 10? There is a scramble for the ball with 1 Cavalier and about 5 PH Patriots that were all piled on top of the football. And the numbers favor the Patriots, as does the possession. they recover on a muffed exchange.
Yeah, those are the mistakes you want to try to get rid of early. Right there, 1st and goal, had a miss handoff right there, causing that fumble to go to the ground, and the Patriots able to come in and dive on that and pick that up for the recovery. Tough loss right there for the Cavaliers.
And then this is a scoring chance. It's their second turnover of the game. They're tied at 7 with PH. Without those turnovers, the margin could well be wider. Instead, we're in a deadlock with about 35 seconds to go in the opening quarter, and PH getting the ball back pretty deep in their own territory.
Yeah, PH running the basic spread offense, able to pass the ball. They have junior quarterback number 11 for them. Jacob Painter is their quarterback. Pretty good arm.
And they throw quite a bit. Does Alan Fiddler in his 16th year guiding the white pant, white jersey, white helmet PH Patriots. So this time it is an inside give, and slipping through a couple of tackles to Marte Merchant, but it looked like he may have coughed the ball up, and he did. And
I tell you what,
recovers.
So he took that away from him when they were going to the ground. He got wrapped up, and JF was holding on to him, and as they're falling to the ground, number 10 right there, Bryson Spano just comes in and tackles the football right out of his hands.
Coach, we have had multiple turnovers in the first quarter and procedural penalties. We need to reemphasize that this is a scrimmage game, the number 2 for these teams.
Well, I tell you what, this is going to be pretty typical, not just tonight, but those first couple weeks. You even see this into the season now. It's easy to make these little mental mistakes, and that's one right there, not securing the football. But what an opportunity now for the Cavaliers.
So they get it back after their fumble. PH fumbles it on the ensuing play. Jackson fakes the pitch, keeps it himself, slips through a tackle at the 7, barrels inside the 5 to the 3, but this is likely to come back as there is one Patrick Henry Patriot who is just sitting there on the turf and eventually getting up. Carter Shell, and then meanwhile, it looks like a hold, and that is exactly what the call will be. And so JF will not get credit for that run. Instead, they'll have to have a 1st and goal from outside the 10.
Yeah, again, these are the things that coaches want to work out right now. And they don't even want to see these in the scrimmage, to be honest with you. They want to see some of these guys that have some experience not making mistakes right there. And that was a lineman grabbing a defensive lineman and essentially pulling him to the ground. That was pretty obvious hold right there.
You mentioned that. If you're JF, how much more emphasis are you putting on, in particular, your offense, given the volume of returning players?
Well, I tell you, in the scrimmage right here, even though it's a scrimmage, you still want to look good.
Pitch play to Jackson on the far side at the 20-yard line. He fumbles it, but he's well out of bounds at the 15 where he was pushed out. Gained about 8 yards as that ball was spotted back at the 23. It'll still be 2nd and goal from the 15.
Yeah, Coach Cruz and all the coaches, I mean, they're still going to sit down and they're going to evaluate this film, and they want to look good no matter what. It doesn't matter. Anytime you walk on the field, they want execution. And so they're coaching these guys as hard right now in this scrimmage as they would be at the end of the season, even in the playoffs, because that's what coaches do.
Yeah, I mean, you're still playing to a standard, if nothing else. Meanwhile, we're playing to the second quarter when we come back. Right now, 7-all, PH and JF, tied at 7 after 1 on JF Cavalier Football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
How many times have you seen a personal injury attorney saying they mean business? At Trost Law, we're not an overused slogan. We're a firm that does things differently.
I am not expecting us to get any
time with our clients, listening to
tonight, period. I would just try to give everyone at least one.
That means a blend of compassion for our clients with a serious commitment to the right outcome. I hope you never need our services, but if you do, we are a simple phone call away at 777-HURT or visit TrostLaw.com.
40 years in business. That longevity, Meineke Car Care has become trusted in the Lynchburg area. Multiple technicians at Meineke decades, meaning experience with older makes and models, plus new vehicles with complex computer systems. And Meineke proudly serves local contractors with custom exhaust.
In a perfect world, I'd love to have a graphic that matches up
make,
with
model, and need of your car. There's a good chance you'll get the right answer at Meineke Car Care at the corner of 221 and Graves Mill Road in Forest.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
5-7 in the second quarter. This is a scrimmage, just for full context. Patrick Henry and Jefferson Forest. As the Cavaliers switch, now they're working left to right at Sabre Stadium, the scoreboard side of the field. We're going through some machinations on our own to get ready for the opener next Friday night down in Gretna, where the 6:30 airtime scheduled for you. Jackson at quarterback for JF. Fox goes in motion. It's a pass play over to the right side, looking for Lee in the impacted end zone, and it is incomplete. There is a penalty flag, and we'll see if there is holding pass interference or if the ball is deemed uncatchable as it was thrown toward the sideline, and the referees are conferring right now.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a corner route right there. Trying number 2, Jack Lee. The throw is a little bit wide. Lee was able to still bring it down, but it is the penalty on the corner for Patrick Henry Patriots.
Yeah, DeMarte Merchant was there in coverage. It was getting rather handsy and physical, and the flag came out right as that ball was thrown. It might be a little generous if you're JF. I don't know, even if there was no pass interference, if Lee was going to be able to come down with that, just given where the ball was placed. Close. That's one of those fine-tuned things for Peyton Jackson where you give him a couple of weeks and he can get that ball closer into the Impact Church end zone.
Yeah, great job right there by the official, seeing that contact, throwing the flag. Puts JF at a better position right here, 2nd and 5 from about the 8-yard line. See what Coach Cruz dials up here.
Yeah, a lot of times coaches do not want the 1st and goal and the 2 in a scrimmage. They want to stress test their team. Meanwhile, pitch play for the Cavaliers over the left side is Barnett. Tries to turn the corner of the Impact Church end zone and finally gets his way in through a little second effort. He powered through the tackle attempts from DeMarte Merchant and Kemontae Witherspoon, and ultimately gets into the Impact Church end zone for the second JF touchdown.
Yeah, great job right there. Gabe Barnett taking the jet sweep. He had the blockers. He broke a tackle at about the 2-yard line, forced his way into the Impact Church end zone. What a great job.
Yeah, for JF, they found their way in there. It was a physical running play, and you're at least seeing the things you want. When you're firing on all cylinders, that might be a little smoother, but hard to top that touchdown run. Can the extra point put it on top? Walker has it. Kick is up, and it's good. 14-7, JF leads against Patrick Henry. 15 seconds into the second quarter of this scrimmage of JF Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
Learning for your family isn't just a school year thing. This summer, teach smart money habits that last a lifetime. Open a youth or basic savings account at Farmers Bank and help build a strong financial future from the start. It's simple, safe, and a great way to turn small savings into big opportunities. Stop by our Timberlake Road location or any Farmers Bank branch and open an account today, because good habits start early, and we're here to help them grow.
When you go to a big box store, it's from the area.
It's been good. We're tying it all together. It's kind of a sprint.
You don't have to worry about those questions.
Friday night was back on Tuesday.
98% of the plants are grown on site. The native trees, the shrubs, and the trees in our region and our pollinators.
So good. I'll get my update when I get home tonight.
Retail garden center and nursery in the Lynchburg area for plants that fit our region. Visit Poplar Forest Nursery on 221 in Forest.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
Howard has the ball teed up as a line drive kick to about the 5-yard line. They are not doing active kick returns. So Jonas Howard's kick gives JF an idea of the type of leg he has. He showed it off last year in the state playoffs, particularly at John Hanley and even against GW Danville and Verina after that. And he's trotting off to the sideline. And if you're JF, you'd love to see that type of power regularly. There's no return. They're just going to spot the ball at the 25-yard line and eliminate that element of special teams. That's one of the unique parts of this scrimmage, Coach.
Yeah. JF again, they got their spread offense. They're playing with a slot guy lined up in the wing position just behind the tackle, one running back. Sprint out.
Painter has it, a QB rollout over to the far side, throws it to the 35, and Alexander spins out of a tackle, gets to the 50, accelerates down the far sideline, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, gets a block, and he's into the Impact Church end zone for a quick 75-yard touchdown reception, and PH answers right back.
Well, I tell you what, they had a sprint out. They ran a little 7-yard comeback route, nothing big. The problem was missed tackles. Not one, not two, but 3 missed tackles, and he spun his way out and broke down that sideline for the touchdown.
Yeah, and you mentioned the missed tackles. How much of that is what you want to an extent? You're stress testing your defense to really emphasize how they wrap up starting next week at Gretna.
I mean, at best right there, that should have been an 8-yard gain. And what happened was when you don't grab cloth, you don't wrap up and take people to the ground, they break loose like that, and that's exactly what PH was able to do to get that big 75-yard touchdown to tie this game up after the extra point.
There's a penalty flag, but it looks like it's not going to be enforced anywhere. Snap down, kick on the way, it's up, and it is through to tie this one at 14. Again, there's some quirks to the preseason where you might not be accepting flags, and it doesn't have a huge impact on a kickoff because you're just going through the special teams motions for that. We are not going through the motions. We are tied at 14 between Patrick Henry and JF. 30 seconds into the second quarter of JF Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
This is Coach Rick Kennedy, and I love listening to or watching JF football games every Friday night. But what I love more is Sunday worship at Impact Church. And here is Pastor Brad to tell you more about that.
Hey, everybody. This is Pastor Brad from Impact Church. And I want
did you know what the flag was for?
You and your family to come worship with us on Sunday mornings.
When the guy that scored a touchdown spiked
the Lord is doing at Impact Church. Join us in our brand new facility at 1661 Thomas Jefferson Road. We have an exciting kids ministry, passionate praise and worship, multiple ways to get involved with fellowship activities, Bible studies, and life groups, and expository preaching of the full counsel of God's Word. Huge opportunities are coming to this church in the near future as we look to expand our ministry and serve and love on our community. And we are just getting started. Come grow with us this Sunday and be a part of this movement of the Lord as we make an impact for Christ.
This is Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
Turner Fusler getting ready to put this ball up into the air for the Patrick Henry Patriots. They answered after the Cavaliers punched it in from 8 yards out on the Gabe Barnett touchdown run. PH answered on a phenomenal Ashton Alexander bubble screen, broke 3 tackles, got to the Impact Church end zone, and the high end-over-end kick is bobbled by Barnett. It rolls through the back of the Impact Church end zone for a touchback. It would be placed at the 25-yard line anyway, because that is how tonight's scrimmage is being done, as agreed upon by Alan Fiddler of Patrick Henry and JT Cruz of JF.
Yeah, Coach Cruz, I know they have put the guys through the ringer in the weight room all the way since last January, right after the season ended in the semifinal loss. JF has been working hard in the weight room. They got some of the highest scoring totals in the weights, bench press, squat, deadlift. They got big numbers on the board. They are expecting a lot out of this big group of seniors and the JF football team for 2026.
They answered a lot of questions of the offensive line last year when they had 5 new starters and looked as good as ever. This time it's an inside to Charleston Harris and just barrels right behind the center, Ethan Mandel, and pushed his way up to about the 28. Picks up 3 2nd and 7 coming up for the Cavaliers. Clock is working its way toward the 11-11 mark here in the second quarter. We're tied at 14 in this scrimmage between PH and JF.
Yeah, Coach Cruz, he's not going to do anything crazy in this scrimmage. He wants to run his base stuff. He wants them to be solid on the fundamentals. So we're not going to see any crazy offensive plays, just kind of the basic vanilla stuff, because he wants them to be good at that.
Fox gets the handoff off of a little motion, barrels through the 30-yard line, ducks under a couple of Patriot defenders up to about the 33. He stopped short of the first down marker, but gained enough to get to third down and about 1 after a physical stop in there by Siobhan Levesey, the junior linebacker.
Well, I tell you what, that was a good hard run right there by Cam Fox. Again, he is going to be one of the big contributors. As a senior, he's got that fullback running back position lined up in the backfield right there next to quarterback Peyton Jackson.
Callaway split wide to the left. Tighter is lead to the right. Jackson's going to keep it on the QB run, and he sneaks his way up to about the 35. Looks like he barely got enough for a first down. It was not a lot of yardage there. Maybe not the prettiest QB carry, but it looks like it should be enough to move the chains and give JF a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, they got him touching the line right there. Yeah, just enough. I think PH brought their blitz right there. They blitzed both of those inside linebackers through the gaps, and they did a good job, just enough to push that pile about 1 yard, and that was enough for that first down. So that was a good run right there by Peyton Jackson.
Evenly split at 14 between the 5A school, Patrick Henry Patriots, and the 4A school, Jefferson Forest Cavaliers, or Class 5 and Class 4, as they're now dubbed now by the VHSL. I'm showing my age for a moment. Jackson will call for the shotgun snap. Ball in the middle of the field at the JF 35. They're working left to right, shy of midfield. Jackson drops back, throws lead, caught in wide open air at the 43 of Patrick Henry, and ends up dropping it. Looked like he saw the green grass toward the Impact Church end zone and lost track of objection number one, which is securing the football.
Well, the problem was they had too many receivers in the same area. They had Charleston Harris down the middle, and him and Jack Lee were almost together, and that actually caused a confusion, and Jack Lee dropped that. But they had two guys behind everybody. That probably would have been a touchdown.
In the perfect scenario it is. That's one of those mid-season touchdowns, but we're in preseason, so instead it's just an incompletion for 2nd and 10, JF. Tied at 14 with PH. Couple minutes into this second quarter on a very hot night here in Forest, Virginia. Pitch play to Coleman, left side, slips out of a tackle at the 35, but a good job over on the far side by Darian Hart to grab the back of Coleman's jersey and allow pursuit help to come in and limit him to a gain of about 2.5.
Well, the key to the jet sweep right there is the rocket sweep, the rocket sweep, they have to get the blocking on the perimeter. And that time, one of the outside linebackers came off his block, and that's really what shut down that lane. Otherwise, that could have been a big run.
Instead, it's a limited gain of about 2. We'll call it 3rd and 8 for JF from the left hash mark, 12 yards shy of midfield, 13 yards shy of midfield. Jackson will get ready for the shotgun snap with Coleman in motion from left to right. Coleman threw his hands up in the air. One of the Patriots jumped offside on the far side. We'll see who gets busted first, and the initial indication is offside on PH.
Well, that's number 10, Frederick Callaway. That's at least 2, if not his 3rd defensive offsides right there. He is hurting his defense and helping out the JF offense every time he jumps off on that. And what that means is he's not looking at the football. He's listening to the cadence, and we teach defensive linemen to always watch the football and go on movement, not on sound.
That might be a, shall we call it, point of emphasis in the next week for him. I would imagine Alan Fiddler is going to have something to say about that. Handoff, picking through some traffic. Barnett breaks a tackle at the 50, still on his feet, 45, accelerates inside the 40, down to the 30-yard line. On the near side numbers, Gabe Barnett showed some burst and some toughness to break through on that run and get the Cavaliers into PH territory.
Wow, big run right there. Great job fouling his blockers. Number 8 for the Cavaliers, Gabe Barnett, senior wing. Great job. Good run.
28-yard run from Gabe Barnett, and a lot of contact he powered through to set up JF at the PH 30. Officials calling for a timeout. This is not one that we're going to take. This is just conversing with the PH sideline.
Yeah, referees saying it's getting a little chippy out there, saying both teams are talking a little bit with each other. He's trying to get everybody a little bit more under control right here in the scrimmage. Make sure nobody does anything they're not supposed to.
Lee split wide to the left, and it looks like it's Caden Callaway. It is on the near side numbers to the right. Ball on the right, hash mark for JF. They're working left to right toward the scoreboard at Sabre Stadium, and now there's whistles blown and a timeout called by JF. So we'll take it with them halfway through this second quarter or thereabouts. 7:44 to go. We're tied at 14. JF ball in PH territory when we come back.
Straight, endless financial mess. Apple Auto Glass knows cracks in your windshield lead to serious problems. Oh, my goodness. everyone on the roads. So bring your car to Apple Auto Glass as soon as you see the crack. Apple Auto Glass is still locally owned on Allegheny Avenue in Lynchburg, so you'll speak with Harold, not Mystery Man from an 800 number. They'll handle insurance claims too. Apple Auto Glass, your local shop ensuring fast solutions to your windshield crack problems.
They lost Logan, their quarterback. That's going to be their biggest one. He was everything.
Presented by TrostLaw.com.
Coming out of JF's first call timeout here of the first half, second quarter. Trying to get my numbers right here as we come back in to our scrimmage. Still trying to get my brain firing on all cylinders. 7:44 to go in the second quarter. JF and PH tied at 14 here at Jefferson Forest High School. And the Cavaliers are marching toward the Patrick Henry Patriots Impact Church end zone. They are 30 yards away. First and 10 from the 30, ball on the right hash. And Jackson calls for the snap, looks to throw over the left. Now a swing pass. Fox grabs it and drops it at the 32. Might not have had a ton of room, but he did not secure it, and it's incomplete.
Again, that's right there. That's just a concentration error right there. You got to be able to watch that ball all the way in to your hands. Go ahead and secure it with your hands and then bring it to your body. You cannot be looking upfield waiting to see where you're going to go. You have to catch that thing first. So, again, early preseason error right there, dropping that football.
And these are a lot of things that I would imagine both coaches kind of want to see. How much of this is, well, you want the officials maybe to call it tighter against your team than they normally would. You want all these points of adversity because this is where you can coach it out and it doesn't count.
Yeah, this is an opportunity again. That's why you're just going to see the basics. Coach Cruz wants these guys to be good at their base plays.
Shotgun snap. It's a misdirection handoff, and Harris has it inside the 30. Breaks through a tackle at the 20, and finally tripped up, lunging down to the 18. Picked up 12. A lot of that was the offensive line in the middle. Paved open a nice hole, and Hairston on the misdirection run found it.
Well, I tell you what, that is their best play off of their motion. That is the wing counter, and they get that motion that looks like it's going to be the rocket sweep. And you buy into that because that rocket sweep is so effective. That opens up the wing counter. And that time right there, you had Charleston Harris take it for a big first down inside the red zone now.
Callaway is your wide receiver. He split to the wide left. Lee lined up tight on the right side. Cavaliers will flip them around at times as Jackson gets ready for the shotgun snap. Cavaliers taking a long time just to get everybody set. Now Barnett in the slot on the left side as well. Two wings, one of them Fox in motion right to left. And it is a swing pass. No, it's a throw to Barnett. Does he have it in the V Cavaliers in the impact church end zone? Yes, he does. He held on despite a bit of a crunching hit that was applied by Deja Brown. And Barnett holds on for another JF touchdown.
Well, I tell you what, that was a great job, Barnett, concentrating right there. And I tell you, Peyton Jackson, he hung that pass just a little bit. The safety was just a step slow getting over there. He wants to zip that into that window right there, and that would have been a much easier catch, and he might not have had to take that hit. But great job right there for his second touchdown, Gabe Barnett.
Another thing you're probably pointing out is Austin Walker's on to attempt the extra point. Snap down, kick is up, and Walker is been off three of his point afters. The Cavaliers have a 21-14 lead with 6:47 to go before halftime on JF Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
A short drive from Forest will save you money. It'll also give you that family feeling. Take the quick, scenic drive to Apple Chevrolet in Alta Vista. Shop at a dealership that's been family-owned and operated for decades, meaning honest values and an honest car shopping experience. You'll also save on new and pre-owned Chevy. Have access to flexible financing and experience top-tier customer service that puts you first. Get high-pressure auto sales. Experience small hospitality and city selection. Apple Chevrolet in Alta Vista. Short drive to Forest. First down.
Make LY8 first.
Second down.
We have two airlines to choose from at LY8, American and United.
Third down.
We have three destinations. Fly directly from LYH to Charlotte, Chicago O'Hare, and Washington Dulles.
Touchdown.
Lynchburg Regional Airport is your connected, reliable airport close to home. Search flights at flylyh.com.
Gabe Barnett had a rushing touchdown earlier from 8 yards out. That time he had a receiving touchdown from 18 yards out. He has found the Impact Church end zone twice. The Cavaliers have been there 3 times, and it's a 21-14 JF lead. This time it's a kickoff from Howard. It'll bounce at about the 8, and it'll just roll to a stop at about the 1. No returns at all, so it's just more of a line up, run down the field, and see how far you can kick it. And right now, Howard had a booming leg last year in the playoffs. You kind of wonder if, I'm not a kicking expert, but it takes a moment to get that form back.
Well, early part of the season, with every game comes a little more confidence. Maybe it's just a confidence factor right now. But, hey, I'm sure he'll have the kick down here shortly.
I'm not one to talk when it comes to something like that, Coach. 21-14, 6:47 left, second quarter. Patrick Henry ball after the kickoffs. It's coming out to the 25. That's where PH will take it from the middle of the field, working right to left as Painter, this junior quarterback, takes it, and this time it's a handoff, slipping through a tackle over on the right side, just getting up to the 26, so it wasn't too damaging. But Shadrach Joseph got up there and gained about a yard for 2nd and 9.
Yeah, good job right there. Got some penetration in the backfield. That helped slow things down right there. For the most part, PH has not been overly effective running the football. They have been effective throwing the football, especially the short to intermediate routes. And here they are with a full spread right now.
Painter calls for the shotgun snap on 2nd and 9, has it. It's another throw play, this time over the far side, and Hart dropped it himself. He had some daylight in the flat at about the 27 near the JF sideline, but like we mentioned a moment ago with JF, missing the whole secure the football part, kind of an early season thing.
I tell you what, JF had a breakdown in the coverage right there. The outside linebacker did not come over to the flats right there, and that would have been a catch and possibly to the house because nobody was there, and it went straight through his hands. Big advantage right there for the drop football for the Cavaliers.
And again, these are things that both teams are working out, just what you need to do in little errors. Pitch play, ball popped loose, it's knocked down. I don't know if it even hit the floor as Painter lost control of it. It may have bounced straight into a JF Cavalier, kind of immaculate reception part 2, and it is a turnover by PH as Painter was under duress, just never secured the ball, taking off, and there were 4 Cavaliers that popped it up into the air. And again, I don't know if it even hit the ground, but JF falls on it at the PH 29.
Well, I tell you what, Jacob Painter pulled that down and was going to scramble, and he got hit from behind, and that ball got popped out, and it bounced around like a pinball for a little bit, but JF able to secure that on the 29-yard line with plenty of time here before the half to go up an extra touchdown from their 21-14 lead.
Lee is split wide. Now the referees are blowing whistles, sounding like they want to confer something. Just for the record, there is no instant replay in high school as to what happened, but PH may sense a chance to just calm things down. They burn a timeout before this drive gets going. So they're trailing at JF 21-14, 5:58 to go in the second quarter, and Patrick Henry will spend their timeout as we come back after this on JF Cavalier Football, presented by Trostwall.com.
Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford is proud to be a sponsor of Jefferson Forest High School football. At Magic City, we take great pride in our community and the people who call it home. And when it comes to providing Bedford and the surrounding communities with outstanding sales and service, Magic City leads the way. Stop in at Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford at 1750 Independence Boulevard, or shop us at MagicCityBedford.com. MagicCityBedford.com.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
It is the second preseason game for the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers. We're working through our stuff, trying some new things out, including VTR in Sports and Virginia Talk Radio Network on Facebook, and VTR in Sports on YouTube if you want to consume us that way. Of course, all the traditional ways will still be available this season as well. 21-14, JF leads after the Patrick Henry timeout. 5:58 to go second quarter. and Jones goes in motion. It's an inside give. Coleman, he gets through the 25 and follows his line down to about the 22. A 7-yard run for Xander Coleman. And, Coach, that might be the type of thing you want to see from Coleman in the preseason. We know he's capable of taking it the distance, creating big plays, but he could be even more lethal if he can start being that type of inside grinded out runner too.
Yeah, that inside wing counter right there to Xander Coleman right there. And, again, he's going to be able to run inside and outside. He is probably the top athlete, overall athlete on this team, and he can turn on the jets when he needs to. But that time, a little bit of power. That was an 8-yard run.
Coleman this time up in the right slot. Lee is the wide out. Coleman goes in motion to the left. Fake pitch. Jackson keeps it 20. Follows his interior offensive line down to about the 17. Picked up 5 when he needed 3, and the chains will move for a JF first down. And now there is a Cavalier offensive lineman that is down, grabbing that calf area and pounding himself or his fist into this field turf. So JF already without Logan Hamilton. Chase Spraker now, another senior leader, is pounding into the field turf. We will take a timeout. We will assess this injury when we return. 5:06 to go in the second quarter. JF leading PH 21-14.
Some attorneys are part of huge out-of-state firms. To them, you're just a case number. At Trost Law, you're a client worthy of personal attention. Hi, I'm Randy Trost. Being based in Virginia since 1982 means we know the intricacies of Virginia's legal system. It also means we can walk you through your case, whether that's a phone call, meeting in person, or advocating in court. I hope you never need our services, but if you do, we'll give serious attention to your case. Call us at 777-HURT and learn more at trostlaw.com.
Thinking about land? Think the Farmers Bank of Appomattox. Whether it's for building, farming, or investing, we're here to help you take that next step. Our land loans offer flexible options and local decision-making you can trust because we're based in Appomattox and have locations throughout Central Virginia. Let's turn your plans into possibilities. Visit us today on Timberlake Road or the Farmers Bank branch that's convenient for you and start your journey toward owning the land you've always wanted.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
So Chase Spraker is down on the Sabre Stadium field turf and might have gotten his ankle stepped on. Might be the last we see of him tonight, even if he's going to be okay long term, just because it is a scrimmage and you want to make sure these guys are ready. Looks like he's trying to give it a go to get up and needs a little bit of a hand to step up, and he is walking gingerly over toward the sideline, but it looks like as he's moving, he's getting not only the cowbells and horns blared for him, but he's going to walk at least under his own power over to the training table and be met by the other injured Cavalier, Logan Hamilton, who's got that knee brace and is on crutches. Spraker has thrown his helmet down in frustration, and I think if you're JF, you might hold him out more as a precaution tonight and see what else you have on the offensive line, just because you need to make sure pieces are trained up. It's 21-14. Clock is winding again, under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
Well, just from him coming off on his own power right there, that's a huge positive right there. Looks like hopefully just something minor. He'll be able to shake that off. And, yeah, I wouldn't think we may not see him the rest of tonight, which is fine. That way he'll be ready for next week.
The goal, of course, is everybody getting ready, healthy, and ready to go as much as you can. Next Friday, for the airtime 7 o'clock kick down in Gretna. Clock at the 4:30 mark. Snap, handoff, picking through traffic is Fox, and he'll grind his way down to about the 14. Picked up a couple of yards there, and it'll bring up second and about 6 for JF.
Yeah, a good little 4-yard run right there. He kept his legs going. Great job by Cam, just really using his low center of gravity. He's one of the guys that has just a lot of power in his lower leg area. Big squatter right there, one of the top squatters on the team.
And you can see Chase Spraker is trying to do calf raises, which he looks to be able to successfully do on both feet. We're not doctors, but we're kind of making observations. The worst ankle injury everyone knows about, if it was that, the Achilles, you wouldn't even be able to do that. So you got your answer there. But it could still be severe. Pitch play, Coleman, left side, turns the corner of the 10, lunges toward the impact church end zone. No, he stepped out of bounds at about the 3. Got the first down, Xander Coleman on the end around to the left side, but not quite to the impact church end zone. JF will have to take another couple of cracks at it with 3:41 to go in the second quarter.
Well, Xander Coleman right there on the outside. That was a great job on the rocket sweep. He was able to get the blocking that we talked about earlier, the wide out and the wing, both to get their blocks right there. That opened up that outside lane. He cut it up, and he stepped out of bounds right about the 4-yard line.
Clock now goes under 3.5 in the second quarter. Cavaliers trying to add a touchdown before we head to intermission as they're working left to right in their black jerseys, black helmets. PH in the all whites, white pants, white jerseys, white helmets. JF with the red numerals, PH with the royal purple uniforms. Ball on the left hash mark. JF going with more of a jumbo look package, and it's a give off to Fox. Tries to get to the corner. No, he does not. He is met by a wall of 4 PH defenders, and leading the way was Darian Tart. Once again, defensively, also Deja Brown came up from that defensive back spot. It'll bring up second down and goal from about the 5.
Yeah, it looks like another timeout right here by PH. I tell you, they got penetration that time. That's the offensive line not doing their job up front. There was too much penetration, and he got stuck for a yard loss on that.
Timeout called. We'll take it with them. 21-14. JF trying to grow their lead. 2:51 to go before halftime.
Meineke to make sure your engine starts perfectly this year. Whether you need tires, brakes, engine repairs, or simply an oil change, Meineke has you covered with certified technicians, free digital e-inspections with pictures and videos, and financing options. They're there to not only help you start your engine, but keep it running smoothly all year long. They're your one-stop shop for car care needs. Schedule an appointment today by visiting Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke. Doing car care right.
Second and goal coming up for JF after the loss of about 1.5 yards. It'll be snapped from the 4.5-yard line right in the middle of the field. Cavaliers looking to make their 4th trip to the Impact Church end zone. They've got a 1-touchdown lead on visiting Patrick Henry. 2:51 to go before halftime in this scrimmage. As Jackson gets ready to call for the shotgun snap, it's a pitch play to Coleman. Tries to turn the corner at the 5, does, and he just sidesteps his way into the Impact Church end zone at the Essex Cavaliers for the JF touchdown.
Yeah, Xander Coleman coming back, running the rocket sweep to this right side, and they was able to cut back underneath the kick-out block at the corner and cut right into the end zone untouched. Great job again. The blocking makes that rocket sweep work for the 4th touchdown of the night for the Cavaliers.
So JF looking for the point after with Austin Walker trying to be 4 for 4 on PATs this evening. Snap and hold are crucial to that as well. And both of those are good. So is the kick. And JF's got a 2-touchdown lead. 2:45 to go before halftime. JF leads 21-14 over Patrick Henry on JF Cavaliers football, presented by TroSmall.com.
You have a vision for how you want your home to look. Now walk into Poplar Forest Nursery and be inspired for how you want your home to look and feel. Poplar Forest Nursery features the biggest retail garden center and nursery in the Lynchburg area. 98% of the plants are grown on site, from the native trees, the shrubs, and the perennials that fit our region and our pollinators. So your vision comes to life and your home produces life. For plants that fit our region, go to Poplar Forest Nursery on 221 in Forest.
Got a crack problem? You know the symptoms. Poor reaction time. Can't see straight. Endless financial mess. Apple Auto Glass knows cracks in your windshield lead to serious problems for you and everyone on the roads. So bring your car to Apple Auto Glass as soon as you see the crack.
Yeah.
Apple Auto Glass is still locally owned on Allegheny Avenue in Lynchburg, so you'll speak with Harold, not Mystery Man from an 800 number. Apple Auto Glass, your local shop ensuring fast solutions to your windshield crack problems.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
Cavaliers have made 4 trips to the Impact Church end zone. They lead 28-14 over visiting Patrick Henry. 2:45 to go before intermission, and that might be where we sign off on our broadcast. We're just going through a preseason rendition. We'll have the full thing for you starting at 6:30 down in Gretna next week. Howard's kick, it is high, not overly deep. This is his shortest as it just thuds down into the field turf at about the 14-yard line between the right hash and the right number, the left side hash and left side numbers near the JF sideline.
Well, I tell you what, PH has enough time with this spread offense. They can make some things happen here before half with about 2:40 left on the clock. They got to get the ball moving right here. They need the receivers to stop dropping, which they've been doing on some big opportunities. And JF personally, defensively, they need to get some pressure, a little better pressure. They got pressure the last time, and when they flushed number 11, Jacob Painter, out, he fumbled the football. So that's what they need to do and keep that going this series.
Painter trots back over from the sideline, looks and plays a little bit taller than the 5'11" listing that he has. That's as tall as I am, although I'm sure he's bigger and he's obviously more athletic. That goes without saying. Painter gets ready for the shotgun snap and takes it, flings it over to the far side. Just a dump ball pass, 20, 25, breaking a tackle at the 30, and then being pushed out of bounds into the PH bench is Emma Marshall on the far side, and he picks up the first down for Patrick Henry. And like you mentioned, they've got the ability to fire and execute some chunk plays like that.
Yeah, that was just a little swing pass to the running back out in the flats. There was nobody out there. So whoever the outside linebacker is, he's got to keep his eyes open. They're playing a zone defense, and he was going man-to-man following the slot receiver.
Painter calls for a shotgun snap, a three-receiver set to the wide left. He's taking it and rolling that way. Once the throw does across his body, caught 46-yard line. Oscar Barham pulled that in. A nice throw against the grain of the body on the run, about a yard from the first down. But a good play to set up 3rd and 1.
They got a penalty. They got a penalty. What are they looking at?
A penalty or a timeout. The referees are, nope, there's a flag. Far side of the field, the 36. This might be a procedural penalty, and it is an illegal man downfield on Patrick Henry, and you get those longer developing pass plays. That there is a propensity for that to happen.
Yeah, he had a sprint out going right there, and then he scrambled a little bit before he finally made that downfield throw. And a lot of times linemen have, in their head they got a time clock going, and when it takes that long, they start going downfield.
Kind of go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's going longer than that. They're all over the place. So it'll be 1st and 15, PH at the 32. Shotgun snap for Painter. Once the dump ball pass does, has it. Marshall again in the flat at the 35. Slips through one tackle, but just lunges up to about the 37. The original line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10, and now here comes a flag in. This is likely an extracurricular type flag.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the official was looking at. It looked like he was looking at a JF kid on that one.
And it is an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against JF.
It's going to be double.
That will have these coaches incensed.
Well, that's on number 21 right there. That's Matthew Calkins getting called on that one.
And it may not have been anything. It didn't look like it was, from our vantage point, hitting our gesture, but talking does get thrown as well. So you may have said something that that might not be approved of on the radio, much less the field. Painter calling for the shotgun snap, taking it on 3rd and 10, steps up in the pocket. Now just a shovel pass off to Emmanuel Eddy, and he has it up to the 39, 40, 41. They bring him down there, and Jack Lee and Coleman had a good hit on the stop, gained about 5, but good collision play there, kind of ping-ponged into Eddy. It'll bring up 4th down and 5.
They had a PH with a timeout right here, trying to stop this clock. So the officials have it at 3rd. I think it's 3rd and 5. What they have it at?
They've got it there. They are conferring with both coaching staffs. A reset, 28-14. JF leading Patrick Henry. Been a fairly sloppy, though you would expect that from a scrimmage, which is where we are, scrimmage 2 for each team contest. $1:37 to go before we head to halftime.
Yeah, again, defense right now doing a good job not giving up a big yardage play. That's what they're doing right here, stressing not giving up the big play. They're giving the underneath stuff, which is fine as long as they can come up and make tackles right there and try to get this clock burned down to get to halftime.
Kind of the goal for JF. It's I don't like the term prevent defense, but you're trying to mitigate big plays while still being somewhat aggressive.
Again, missing their best defensive player for the Cavaliers, number 54, Logan Hamilton, hoping that they're going to get him back, hopefully, before the district play starts.
Shotgun snap coming up for Painter on 3rd down and 4. Has it. It's a pitch play over to the far side. A holding penalty may be coming in to nullify a run by Marshall up to the sticks in front of the PH bench. There's a flag that was thrown down back at about the 40, and the referees are giving that initial indication that it might be a hold. We are not keeping track of how many times the penalty flag has come out,
Well,
but it's been a lot.
We've been seeing a lot, and it is a holding penalty. That's going to back them up 10 yards right there, put them back to 3rd, and wow, it's going to put them back 3rd and 15 now. That really puts them at a disadvantage. They were right at the sticks on that. That might have been a possible 1st down, if not a 4th and short.
Instead, PH backs up, and, well, suffice it to say that over the next 7 days between now and the season opener, Alan Fiddler at PH and JT Cruz at JF are going to be pointing to a lot of correctable opportunities.
Well, they're going to spend a lot of time on this film, no doubt about that. And then the kids, of course, they have access to all this film too, so they're going to be able to see everything over and over again on film, what they can do better.
Painter sends Barham in motion, and he almost slammed the football into the Sabre Stadium turf as a flag came out right at the snap, blowing the play dead, and it's a false start on PH, and Painter is getting frustrated as well.
Well, PH, they won their first 11 games last year, and they still have a lot of guys from that team on here. And right now, PH head coach is going to have a lot of work to do because he is not going to be overly happy. Other than that first drive, they have started to look like preseason sloppiness.
Both teams have had a lot of that. That's kind of what you're angling for, is stress testers and a lot of cleanup chances. 4-man rush and 4-man front for JF. Painter has it in the pocket, throws, dump off pass, slipping through a tackle at the 35, up past the 40 to the 45, just a couple of yards shy from a 1st down, is Ashton Alexander, and it'll force a clock stoppage. The question is, does JF call it, trying to get the ball back to go their 28-14 leader? Is PH going to call it instead?
Well, I tell you what, PH is doing a good job at running curls and comebacks, and the quarterback Painter is doing enough to stay untouched to be able to release that football. And that time it was probably about a 6 or 7 yard throw, but it was about a 6 or 7 yard run after the catch, which puts him in this 4th and 2 right here. So again, JF still in a learning curve defensively. And I know for the defensive coordinator, that would be Mr. Burford. Coach Burford is definitely going to have his hands full watching this film, trying to get some of the things worked out that he wants to get straight.
Mr. Burford to you. Shouldn't you be on a first-name basis? You were in school with these people. I know you're not anymore.
Yeah, Coach Burford.
Coach Burford. Mr. Coach, either way, it all works the same.
Well, don't let Coach Burford fool you. He also teaches coding, computer coding for JF, so he's got himself a good technology mind.
Oh, my goodness. Shotgun snap coming. PH going for it on 4th and 3. Painter has it. Caught by Barham in the flat of the 45 of JF. They got the 1st down. PH, they do. They get inside the 30. He caught it in the middle and then backtracked and then zoomed up to the 43 to get a couple extra yards after the catch. And PH trying to add some tempo to their offense on the 4th and 3 conversion. They're into JF territory, trailing 28-14. $1:08 to go before halftime.
Well, again, PH is continually running that 10 to 12 yard curl route, and that thing is just wide open. They're curling right back to the quarterback, and the defense has not been able to do a good job on that.
Painter has it, has plenty of time to throw, floats it toward the Impact Church end zone. It is incomplete. Overshot his intended receiver, Alexander, on the far side. Caden Calloway was actually the closest to it, but couldn't quite get a finger on that one. It's harmlessly incomplete. About 5 yards into the Impact Church end zone. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for
Yeah, that was a deep post route right there, and he threw it over top of everybody, even cornerback right there. Caden Calloway was not able to get back on that. If he was the closest one to that ball to make a play.
So instead, 2nd and 10, still a 4-receiver set for PH. 2 are split wide to the wide left side. 2 are tighter up on the near right side. Shotgun snap and a rollout as Painter over to the left, throwing in and out of the arms of Alexander. Skyford at about the 37 in front of the JF bench. Would not have been enough for a first down, but would have gotten about half the yardage needed down to the 33. Instead, incomplete. 3rd and 10 coming up with 48 ticks to go before halftime.
That ball was a little bit high right there. Otherwise, it would have been a completion. But I tell you, they're having some coverage problems with that outside linebacker right there, number 10, Bryson Spano. As soon as the quarterback broke free, he came out of his coverage and wanted to come up and try to put pressure on the quarterback, and he left his zone. And that's why he was wide open for the missed throw and catch.
Painter calls for it on 3rd and 10. He's looking right, throwing right, ball caught 35, and a quick immediate tackle by Xander Coleman. He came up and immediately wrapped up DeMarte Merchant short of the first down by about 3 yards. It'll bring up another 4th and 3 for PH. They are working quickly with 33 seconds to go before halftime. Trying to hold their one timeout left. 2 receivers to each side. Shotgun snap. Painter has it, floats it toward the right side. Once the Impact Church end zone is there, but in lockstep in coverage over on the far side was Gabe Barnett, and it's incomplete. DeMarte Merchant never really had a chance to pull that in on the good coverage, and it's over on down.
Well, I tell you, they had 4th and 3 right there, and Painter wanted to go for the touchdown right there. He threw the bomb, threw the go route down the sideline right there, and not a bad throw, just a lot of coverage, a lot of people in that area, and nothing able to happen. No penalties. So that ball finishes up that drive for the PH Patriots.
And it looks like the coaches have both allowed this clock to whittle down to 0. So there will be no ensuing drive for JF. We have reached halftime here, which also means we are closer to the end of our broadcast. We're doing the first half. When we return, Coach Kennedy and I will just give some initial thoughts. We'll put a bow on our coverage here and get you set for next week when JF and Gretna get ready to square off. JF takes the scrimmage over PH 28-14 on JF Cavaliers football, presented by TroStall.com.
A short drive from Forest will save you money. It'll also give you that family feeling. Take the quick scenic drive to Apple Chevrolet in Alta Vista. Shop at a dealership that's been family owned and operated for decades.
Yeah, we're going to do
honest values and an honest car shopping experience. You'll also save on new and pre-owned Chevys. Have access to flexible financing and experience top-tier customer service that puts you first. Skip the high-pressure auto sales. Experience small-town hospitality with big city selection.
Yes.
Apple Chevrolet in Alta Vista.
We'll do all
Short
that.
drive from Forest. First down.
Make LYH your first choice for flying.
Second down.
We have 2 airlines to choose from at LYH, American and United.
Third down.
We have 3 destinations. Fly directly from LYH to Charlotte, Chicago O'Hare, and Washington Dulles.
Touchdown.
Lynchburg Regional Airport is your connected, reliable airport close to home. Search flights at flylyh.com.
This is Coach Rick Kennedy, and I love listening to or watching JF football games every Friday night. But what I love more is Sunday worship at Impact Church. And here is Pastor Brad to tell you more about that.
Hey, everybody, this is Pastor Brad from Impact Church, and I want to extend a special invitation to you and your family to come worship with us on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. and be a part of what the Lord is doing at Impact Church. Join us in our brand new facility at 1661 Thomas Jefferson Road. We have an exciting kids ministry, passionate praise and worship, multiple ways to get involved with fellowship activities, Bible studies, and life groups, and expository preaching of the full counsel of God's Word. Huge opportunities are coming to this church in the near future as we look to expand our ministry and serve and love on our community. And we are just getting started. Come grow with us this Sunday and be a part of this movement of the Lord as we make an impact for Christ.
Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford is proud to be a sponsor of Jefferson Forest High School football. At Magic City, we take great pride in our community and the people who call it home. And when it comes to providing Bedford and the surrounding communities with outstanding sales and service, Magic City leads the way. Stop in at Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford at 1750 Independence Boulevard, or shop us at MagicCityBedford.com. MagicCityBedford.com.
Many large personal injury firms scream that size matters. They're right. With a big personal injury law firm, there's a good chance that you'll ping pong from one attorney to the next every time you call about your case. Don't endure that on top of your injury. Hi, I'm Randy
I
Trost.
would. Like, I seen it.
When you call us, you'll get the personal service of a firm that's accessible 24/7, plus the expertise of a firm serving Virginia since 1982. I hope you never need our services, but if you do, call us at 777-HURT or visit trostlaw.com.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by
Oh.
trostlaw.com.
So we are back here at Sabre Stadium, and we're now in an interesting spot where 28-14 was the score at halftime. To give you an idea, first of all, full context. This is a scrimmage game, so a lot of the sloppiness you might have heard in our broadcast earlier between turnovers and penalties and formational challenges, there's a bit of design in that, Coach, in the sense that coaching staffs want to make sure they are putting undue stress and unique stressors on their team, knowing that you got to have those kinks worked out next week against Gretna.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, to the kids, I mean, it was just like a game. I mean, even though it's called a scrimmage, they are live on the field facing a different colored opponent that they don't know. I mean, they're all in. So, I mean, it was about as real as it can get for them.
It was. Now, what we've got, in case you're wondering what's going on in whistles and everything behind, we have the second string offense and defense for the Patrick Henry Patriots and JF Cavaliers. And I'll just give you one little synopsis. They've run one play, and it was a fumbled exchange. So this is going about the way you would expect. They're not keeping score. The coaches are just on the field. This is literally correcting in real time with officials and coaches on the field. We're not going to do play-by-play for this. We'll wrap it up in just a moment. But, Coach, overall tonight, if you're PH and if you're JF in particular, because we do JF games, I would imagine you'd like to say there are enough bones of the offense and defense that you can take away as positives, while also realizing there are a lot of things that you need to clean up starting next week in JF's case down at Gretna if you want to have the season you're envisioning.
Well, again, coming into this season, everybody knew most of the good offensive guys were back. They were going to pick up pretty close to where they left off, and they did. I felt like offensively they looked really sharp. Again, not as great as last year during the playoff run, but that's expected. But they looked solid, and they did good on the basic stuff they were supposed to. Now, again, defense is where the challenge is going to be. You lose 3 all-state defenders off of your team, you have some work to do. Coach has a lot of experienced guys on that second team, but here's what I liked. They gave up that first series. They gave up the touchdown on that first series. After that, they actually buckled down.
Yeah,
they played solid.
It was just the one big play, the 75-yard touchdown to Ashton Alexander with a couple. And those are missed tackles. Those are things you can clean up. But it wasn't like they were routinely getting gashed for 10, 15 yards.
No, they did a much better job slowing down PH, which PH has a very effective offense. This is a great offense for high school, running this spread, especially when you got the quarterback, a Painter, he was throwing the ball pretty decent.
Yeah, he's a good thrower. You could see the touch on there.
Exactly. So it was a good adjustment after that first series, other than the missed tackles that they gave up the big run on.
Yeah, I mean, there are things to correct for JF, but there's not a lot of big things where you're going, oh, no. Logan Hamilton will be out for a while, at least through non-district play, if not a chunk of the start of the district season, just depending on how his knee situation progresses. Chase Breaker came off with an injury. He walked off under his own power and was walking around doing some of those testing. They just didn't put him back on the field. Kind of wonder, he might be questionable next week against Gretna. Maybe a little extra cautious because you've got Stanton River and Mount Airy after that, and Gretna will not have Rayshon Logan, who's their go-to engine, so they're kind of starting from scratch next week. So maybe you look at it differently, maybe a little extra cautious, but for JF, that's kind of the other thing, is trying to get those two guys back as healthy as quickly and healthy as possible.
Yeah, and once they get Logan Hamilton back, this defense will change tremendously just off of him, because last year, he was probably the 4th best player after those 3 state guys. And let me tell you what, he would have been probably one of the best players on a lot of other teams, but he got overlooked because of Slade Kazee and Pearson Brooks and some of those other guys that they had.
Spencer Sloan, Dax Rowland. I mean, there were a lot
Dax Rowland, all those guys. I mean, he is a legitimate player. In fact, he has a scholarship. He's going to, Campbell, or it's one of the big. It's
Campbell
one of the,
or one of those schools.
Yeah. So
I saw it, and then of course it's
so
good
he-
fashion. I just
yeah.
totally spaced.
So I mean, he's a legitimate D1 prospect. Mid-level D1 prospect. So again, they need him back. But again, defensively, that's where they're going to take their hits. They're not going to have the 3 and outs like they had last year. They had a lot of 3 and outs. That's probably not going to be the case this year, but they got to learn to buckle but not break.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. So their takeaways for these teams. Coach, we'll wrap it up here on this one. Score is largely irrelevant. JF wins 28-14, but again, this is the second scrimmage of the year. It's about getting ready for Gretna next week. What are the Cavaliers going to be really locking down on in practice this week for when we resume our discussions on JF football, 6:30 p.m. on Friday the 28th, next Friday, 8 days from now, down in Gretna? Well,
no doubt, 100%. Coach Cruz and his coaching staff are going to go back and fix the fundamental mistakes that they made. Not the comprehensive higher level stuff, because they haven't done that yet. They want to fix the basic stuff that they don't want to have, the missed tackles, for sure. All right. Making sure offensively the linemen were blocking the right guys.
Pre-snap penalties.
Yeah. So they're going to go back again. It's always about the fundamentals. You want to be solid on the fundamentals. That's what's going to allow you to start building a higher caliber team when the fundamentals are always working.
That is part of it. So that does it for us today. We want to give a shout out to the sponsors that are already on board with us. Trost Law, Farmers Bank of Appomattox, Meineke Car Care, Poplar Forest Nursery, Apple Auto Glass, Apple Chevrolet, Cavalier Theater, Impact Church, Lynchburg Regional Airport, Magic City, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Bedford. Level Up Foundation Repair is getting to the finish line as well. We're excited about them coming on board this upcoming season, as well as Central Virginia Counseling. We've got a couple of things we're working out to get everything ready for next week. We will be there with that. If you want to be part of that, by the way, FastLaneEdLane@gmail.com or FastLaneEdLane on the socials, or BTR in Sports or Virginia Talk Radio Network on Facebook as well. Drop us a message. We'd be delighted to get with you on any of those platforms. In that way, we can have you be part of our coverage this year. We are looking forward to it. We say so long for the Coach Rick Kennedy, for JJ Hendrickson back in our studio making his debut of producing JF Cavalier football. I'm Ed Lane. We say so long from Sabre Stadium, where JF knocks off PH in the second scrimmage for both these teams, 28-14.
Do you have cash sitting in a savings account? You might be missing a growth opportunity. If you're looking to grow your savings faster, then consider a money market account at Farmers Bank. Money market accounts offer competitive rates with the flexibility you need. It's a smart choice for higher balances and those ready to earn more from their savings. Start maximizing your money today. Visit the Farmers Bank branch that's convenient for you, including Timberlake Road, or open your account online at thefarmersbankva.com.
40 years in business. That longevity is how Meineke Car Care have become trusted across the Lynchburg area. Multiple technicians have been at Meineke for decades, meaning experience with older makes and models, plus new vehicles with complex computer systems. And Meineke proudly serves local contractors with custom exhaust work and quick service. It's true, whatever the make, model, and need of your car, there's a good chance you'll get the right answer at Meineke Car Care, at the corner of 221 and Graves Mill Road in Forest.
When you go to a big box store, what percentage of the plants are from the area? How many of them are imported and don't even fit our climate? You don't have to worry about those questions at Poplar Forest Nursery in Forest. 98% of the plants are grown on site. The native trees, the shrubs, and the perennials fit our region and our pollinators. And Poplar Forest Nursery has the biggest retail garden center and nursery in the Lynchburg area for plants that fit our region. Visit Poplar Forest Nursery on 221 in Forest.
Got a crack problem? You know the symptoms. Poor reaction time. Can't see straight. Endless financial mess. Apple Auto Glass knows cracks in your windshield lead to serious problems for you and everyone on the roads. So bring your car to Apple Auto Glass as soon as you see the crack. Apple Auto Glass is still locally owned on Allegheny Avenue in Lynchburg, so you'll speak with Harold, not Mystery Man from an 800 number. They'll handle insurance claims too. Apple Auto Glass, your local shop ensuring fast solutions to your windshield crack problems. A short drive from Forest will save you money. It'll also give you that family feeling. Take the quick scenic drive to Apple Chevrolet in Alta Vista. Shop at a dealership that's been family owned and operated for decades, meaning honest values and an honest car shopping experience. You'll also save on new and pre-owned Chevys, have access to flexible financing, and experience top-tier customer service that puts you first. Skip the high-pressure auto sales. Experience small-town hospitality with big city selection. Apple Chevrolet in Alta Vista, a short drive from Forest. First down.
Make LYH your first choice for flying.
Second down.
We have 2 airlines to choose from at LYH, American and United.
Third down.
We have 3 destinations. Fly directly from LYH to Charlotte, Chicago O'Hare, and Washington Dulles.
Touchdown.
Lynchburg Regional Airport is your connected, reliable airport close to home. Search flights at flylyh.com.
Language, or hearing. When communication breaks down, it can make daily life more difficult at home, school, work, and beyond. But that doesn't have to be the case. Care from an audiologist or speech